Councillor Pickle volunteers.
I'll second.
Yeah. You alright,
All okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She smiles and all. And she's up there, don't you?
No.
Don't you?
No, I checked last week.
You don't, you daft bats. I forgot, it's such a pleasure seeing one nice face there. It's a pity that you haven't got a nice one at the side of you. Eh? Why you don't want an ugly old woman at the side of you, do you? Actually, was ugly as it. Well, I've been picked on since I got out of the car in car park, so I might as well start picking up. I've got my watch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Notice of a Finance Committee meeting. You are hereby summoned to attend a meeting of the Finance Committee, Springfield Town Council, to be held in the main hall, Hemsworth Town Council, Community Centre, Bullenshaw Road, Hemsworth, commencing at 7 p.m. on Thursday, 10th March 2022, for the purpose of transacting the following business. Item 1, apologies for absence.
Sorry.
Apologies for absence. And to consider and approve the reasons for absence.
Councillors Kenyon, Wilson, G. Eccles, J. Eccles and Middleton.
Item 2, declarations of interest. Councillors should disclose pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest in any items on this agenda. Item 3, public question time. To receive questions pertaining to the committee's remit from members of the public. Is there anyone from members of the public that has anything they want to ask?
No questions?
What fun?
I know you're all looking at me.
What about what?
What's the point?
What did you say then?
Everybody's looking at me as if they say, well, you normally have one.
You don't. You don't. So, have you got a question for
No,
us?
not tonight.
Oh, God.
Item 4.
I can think of a lot, but
Item
it's
4,
not fair when
minutes.
she's there.
To receive and approve the minutes of the meeting held on 20th of January 2022.
Second.
Yeah. I'll ask some, I can ask some, what questions can I ask? No, I can ask some in a minute for something else, can't I? Why isn't it working? I'm getting one of my best pens and it's rocking. Wait a minute now.
Item 5, subcommittees. Finance subcommittee, 20th January, 28th February 2022. Item 6, payments of accounts, January and February 2022.
Move it.
Certainly.
Item 7, budget update, town clerk's report accordingly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At the end of the third quarter, the expenditure against the budget was 73%, which is 2% under. But since then, the council has received the final legal bills regarding Kirby Road. So that puts the council at 0.4% over budget, slightly over budget.
I can say I've got all the budget paperwork, so that's slightly over that now, what we are.
0.4%.
Item 8, allotment fees. Request to waive fees. To consider a request from Springfield Allotment Community Klub to waive the allotment fees for 2022.
Madam Chair, as you've said there, it's come from Springfield Allotment Community Klub, and asking if the council would waive the fees for another year. They have 2 arts and crafts groups, 16-year-old volunteers, comes on a weekend. They're connected to local churches and some schools, and they have a volunteer starting who suffered a head injury as a child joining them. And they invite the councillors to come and see them when they get special, they said. So the amount involved is £50 per share. Would the committee waive the fee?
Yeah,
Are we
that's
all in
very good.
agreement?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
good.
community thing. Can you people, can you shout up so people
Yes,
can hear you
certainly,
better?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but I won't have it, it's something good, and it's what the need round here, something for them, yeah, it's good. So they shouldn't have to be charged.
Item 9, FITZWILLIAM Centre, to consider a request from the 13-18 Hussars to use the main hall on Saturday mornings.
Madam Chair, just to remind members, the current agreement with the Hussars, they're a retired veterans group, for those that don't know, is that they have use of that left-hand side room in the centre, where they store all their artefacts and that kind of thing. And obviously they've got free use of the toilets while they're there, but they've also asked if they can now have use of the main hall on Saturday mornings, to have like coffee mornings. I'd recommend approval with the caveat that if any party bookings wanted or functions, then they would have to vacate them out for those Saturdays.
As long as we, like, if we wanted to have a fair and stuff.
Yes,
That,
yeah.
That's fine then, yeah.
Yeah, that's something else for community, isn't it?
Yeah.
Item 10, National Joint Council Pay Awards 2021. Town clerk report accordingly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's the same thing most years where the National Joint Council is supposed to have this in place for April, May every year, but it's never on time. Anyway, they've agreed with the unions now, and the pay increase for staff is 1.75%. It's backdated to April, and we've already budgeted for it.
Item 11, Play World, remedial work. Town clerk to report accordingly.
Yeah, it's more of an update for members, this Madam Chair. We had the roster report a month or so ago. I had approval from the council to do all the necessary work. It's just a bit getting quotes together to get the work done. It's fairly specialised. It's been like pulling teeth. So it's a work in progress. Just to make members aware, we're talking between £8,000 and £10,000 to get the work done. I know in the future there might be some capital money coming from Wakefield, but that would be great, but we can't rely on that, so we need to move on this fairly quickly. So just keep members in the loop on that, Madam Chair.
What remedial work is it that wants to do?
Well, the zip line he's doing, there's a lot of structural stuff as well. With every report we get every year, the first thing we do is what can we do in-house? And we've done what we can do in-house. The grounds manager, and coincidentally we've got the former grounds manager working for us temporarily, they both said we can't do this work, he's a contractor, so it'll get done, but it won't be cheap.
No, you've got to pay enough.
But it's either doing it or shutting it.
I want to say you've got to pay enough for its health and safety. I mean, those zip wires have got to be checked.
Yeah.
And they don't leave them just every 12 months, is it, Ellen? It's every 6 months, but it used to be.
The jumping for those every 6 months, the whole play was every 12 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Item 12, insurance renewal. You again, Alan.
Yeah, again, it's more for information purposes, Madam Chair. 1 year ago, because April 1st is the renewal date, the council used a broker called WPS. It has been for many years. Last year, the broker got the council a deal with an insurance firm called the Military Mutual, or TMM for short, on a 3-year deal. But the insurer had a 1-year get-out clause, and they've now taken that get-out clause. They provided the lowest quote last year. It seems like in the meantime they've realised they quoted a bit too low and they've taken a bit too much. So long story short, it's looking like the council will have to go back to WAIVE. So it might mean, or probably will be, a slight increase in the premium. So it's all in hand, Madam Chair, just to make members aware of that now.
Yeah, well, WAIVE was good anyway, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were good. One of the best you could get. WAIVE. So I'll stick with them.
Item 13, Citizens Advice Service. To consider provision of the Citizens Advice Service in view of the cost increase of 100%.
Yes, Madam Chair. Currently, the council pays the Citizens Advice £3,000 a year to have a weekly advice service here at the centre every Friday. To be fair to Citizens Advice, that £3,000 isn't the whole cost of that service. They pretty much match it pound for pound, so the actual service costs about £6,000. So the town council pays for half, they pay for the other half, slightly, give or take. Because of their own financial pressures now, Citizens Advice have said they can't contribute anymore. So they've asked the town council to pay the full amount, which will actually be £6,507. to maintain the weekly service. This only came through the past couple of weeks, so the council had already budgeted for the £3,000. So I asked them, as per the report circulated to members, I asked citizens' advice, if the frequency was lowered, what would it cost? And so fortnightly would be 3,500 and monthly would be 1,750. The budget would allow for the fortnightly one, 3,500, and that's what I would recommend, because you would still provide a service, be it every 2 weeks rather than every week. But if the committee wants to stick with the every week, that would be 6,507. But there isn't a budget for it, it would have to come from somewhere else.
Fortnightly, then.
Do we know how many use it?
In the year so far from April, there have been 46 new clients, that's people who've never used the service before. There have been what they call free quick client contacts. There have been 65 activities, and they've also raised £3,500 in income for clients during that period. Just on anecdotal evidence, obviously as I work here, there are some Fridays where you can't move in there, and sometimes on the Fridays where it's empty. So it is a bit peaks and troughs. You get something that I'd recommend fortnightly. If there's still a sudden surge and people really do want it every week, you can always review that decision and say we'll go back to weekly.
Let's not forget though that there is one in Kingsley as well.
Yeah.
So if we're not off that day, we can refer them to them.
And they will obviously, it's Kingsley weekly.
I think Kingsley is weekly, I'm not sure, but I think it's, every Monday. I saw a post the other day actually, but they do it as well, so we could.
And as well, people can still bring the Wakefield office as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking that like £6,507 into a lot for the community, isn't it? We spend more than that on facilities, don't we?
Yeah.
And we're here to work for the community, surely.
It can come from other budgets, councillor, if that's what members want.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not in this committee, so I can't vote. I'm
You
only
can speak, but you can't vote, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's, if you're doing it fortnightly, or weekly, which you think?
One of them needs a proposal, Madam Chair.
Well,
I think
I propose we do it fortnightly, to keep the price of what it is fortnightly.
I'm like that,
Yeah,
because
I propose fortnightly.
yeah, it is something we need, the community needs it.
And it's not costing us any more, is it? No.
Fortnightly would cost the same, more or less the same.
It's not costing any more.
All in favour for fortnightly?
Deb, can we have it on a review
Yeah.
for a few months then, just in case it's needed badly, we can up it back up. You know what I mean?
If we talk to them and say, see how it works for them.
This is from April, so it'll people a few weeks to get used to it.
Yeah.
Item 14, exclusion of press and public. Members of the public and the press to be excluded for consideration for business